Hi, Keira. Good evening. I wanted to come on and respond to your discussion post for this week. Um, I also agree that this book appeals is for everyone, like you said. But I thought that it would be a good book for me to share with my girls. I have two girls, one 21 and one almost 17. Ooh, next week. So I think I said in my original post that I was going to actually purchase the book for myself, just so that I could use it to talk to my girls. Um, I think this book is really great as far as reflection for myself, and it just made me think about just being able to share um, my experiences and my history with my girls. So I do agree that this book would be great for um, young women and teenagers. Um, I liked your statement about the exercises um, in the beginning about our personal identities. It's so important to know who we are before we move forward in this work. Um, I think it just helps. It helps us to kind of move along. Um, and I just wrote down you have to start with that in order to move forward in this work. Like you just have to know who you are. Um, you have to start with the foundation. And I think, you know, that activity, writing down our personal identities just gave us time to kind of think about who we are as a person and not necessarily, we're thinking about us as a group, as a people, but we first have to know who we are as a person before we can kind of branch out into to do the big work. Um, like how our family histories influences and shapes us. I think that is so true. While you were talking about that, family history, um, and I just thought about, you know, what I know about my family, from my dad's side, and then from my mom's side. Of course, I know more about my family history on my mom's side. Um, but it just made me think about I never had the opportunity. I haven't taken the opportunity to kind of share that with my girls. Like, we talk about it here and there, but it's not like they know like our history, our family history, where we come from, what we had to deal with, you know, um, that makes us who we are, that makes our family um, the family that we are, So, um, and I never thought about that either. You know, uh, when people acknowledge that the land that we live on, I never used to think about that. And before I started taking these courses, um, I honestly didn't, acknowledge it. Um, attending conferences and watching webinars and presenters would go into, acknowledging the land that we're on, or the land that they, where their library is, or I can appreciate that now. I can appreciate that now, and I like moving forward. I will definitely start doing that. Um, and it does. This book, everything in this book, just like ties into and covers a lot of what all the resources, the readings, the discussions, the videos. It just there's every chapter was just like, okay, we talked about this. I could think about, the TED Talks, or the lectures, um, the Project Ready modules. It all kind of just sums everything up in this book. So yeah, thank you so much for your reflection. And I appreciate it. And I will see you next week.